Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
What's going on, guys? It is August the 28th, Wednesday as usual. Episode 97. Crazy. We're three more episodes out until episode 100. I am your host, as always. I am Drew Yari. Welcome to the Drew Yari Show. How's everyone's day? My day has been pretty busy. Just going around doing a lot of shopping for the new job. I'm not really gonna say what it's for. It's a city job. You know, it's good pay. So for a city job, you need to look snazzy. You need to get your best shoes, your best pants, your best slacks, your best dress shirts. Not dressed like a hobo. So we basically did a lot of shopping. It was a busy day. Came home, slept, took a nice little cat nap, and now I'm up. Now I'm ready to do this show. They sent me an email. The person in HR who's in charge of the hiring process for me sent me an email, let me know when my physical is. Then pretty much after that, she just said, "Well, I'm optimistic. I'm just going to get you started. This is going to be your scheduled shift." And she also gave me the opportunity to choose what days I want off. And I just chose Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday, obviously needing those days to record the show. Thursday, just for whatever. Also because Wrestling Soup. Thursday, shout out to Wrestling Soup. And also, those days being, just in case a movie comes out that we want to see, we can use that day to, go to the premieres. So that is good. We got everything set up. I got everything set up. I'm already ready to start that job already. It's good money. The money always helps. Money always helps. God knows I can use it. But I don't know what we could start off with. Basically, I'll just kind of start off by saying I watched Raw. I didn't watch SmackDown. I didn't have interest. I didn't feel like just harming myself like that. Raw was what you thought it would be. Aside from the King of the Ring matches, it just wasn't very good. It started off. What the fuck is that noise? Okay. For some reason, I put my phone on my laptop. And I just kept hearing this weird skipping noise. Anyways, Raw began basically with Sasha coming out and I guess airing her grievances and explaining why she was gone. It started off good. It started off okay, and then I don't know. Something just wasn't landing. Something wasn't clicking with the promo. It's good that she's a heel because the long-winded joke with Sasha was that she was going through this time period where she just kept constantly saying, ever since I was a little girl and Eddie Guerrero, she's always worked better as a heel. So she came out and just explained how I was gone for 4 months. Yeah, did I really throw a fit at the back of WrestleMania, in the backstage of WrestleMania? Yes, I did. Did I really cry after a match? Yes, I did. And, the reason why is because, I was put in a tag team match that I didn't give a shit about, defending tag titles that I didn't give a shit about when I should have been in the main event of WrestleMania. Becky Lynch was in the main event of WrestleMania. And I don't know, does Sasha Banks have like an overbite And not that I'm making fun of anyone that has an overbite, but when you're trying to give like a kind of a serious badass promo, it kind of, I don't know, it makes it very obvious. Like, because, and somebody pointed this out, that she kept saying women's division, but the way it came out was women's division, women's division, women's division. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm the only one that notices this. And then somebody finally shared it, and me and Brian from the B Show, shout out to Brian, we're just, having a lot of fun with it. Yeah, that promo was a little long. It was a little longer than it should have been. She should have just came out and been a lot more short and sweet and to the point. And then it didn't help that Natty came out, which I like Natty. I don't hate Natty at all, but it's kind of time for her to go. I'm not saying completely fire her from the company. Keep her on as like, I don't know, maybe a trainer. Keep her on as a trainer. Train the other young girls. It's not that Natty's bad at the ring. She's really not. She's very talented in the ring. She's, someone says she's like the Undertaker of the women's division, which I agree with. But she just gets no reaction. She gets a reaction when, that music hits and it's supposed to be Brett's theme. And other than that, nothing works. I'm hoping this whole thing between her and Sasha is kind of done with. I don't really care about it. I don't really think anyone else cares about it. Sasha and Becky, they already announced Sasha and Becky at the next pay-per-view, which is Clash of Champions. This should be a good match. Other than that, do I see Sasha winning? It would just be kind of weird if Sasha came back and had all this hype on her and she loses. So, yeah, but knowing this company, they'll always pull that kind of bullshit. But, I don't know, when is the pay-per-view again? Night of Champions? I know it's in September, obviously. But what exactly is what exactly is like the pay-per-view start date? Clash of Champions. For some reason I put Clash of Champions September 14th. That's about 2 weeks from now. It's weird that they're putting more time and effort into this kind of nothing pay-per-view. And yet, with SummerSlam, they just kept like hot-shotting every match. I don't know. You would think that it would go the other way around, but whatever. On Raw, what else happened on Raw? I'm just going to skim through Raw, because, again, I wasn't really too big on Raw. The highlight of the night, Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre. Good match. I was shocked that Ricochet won. I was kind of shocked and I wasn't. As soon as I saw the match brackets, I went, yeah, I have a feeling Ricochet is going to win that. And I picked Drew McIntyre to win. Me and Tyler, when Trademark was on the show, shout out to Trademark, we both picked Drew McIntyre to win because we both agree Drew McIntyre, he looks like a legit guy in the company. He looks like a wrestler. He has the potential to be something. He's a big jack motherfucker. And the only thing missing from him is like his ability to really talk, to really enunciate. And I honestly thought he could win because it just sounds better. King McIntyre, King Drew. King Drew Yard. Overall, it was a good match. Ricochet, they want to make him into something. And he just brought back his old gimmick of King Ricochet, which I guess, or I know he was Prince Puma over in Lucha Underground. So there was that. It's going to be him and Samoa Joe next week. Out of everyone, I think out of the Raw bracket, Ricochet is going to win. Because, again, they want to make him into something, which I like Ricochet. I don't hate him. I don't know. I just thought Drew McIntyre would win. My cat is, like, clamoring to come into this room already. Hold on, give me 1 second. I need that spot, baby girl. Oh, shit. Alright, my cat Evie is now part of the show. So everyone say hello to Evie. Alright, so that happened. Yeah, Ricochet is in the second round. The Miz beat Baron Corbin, which the idea has been passed around that there's a possibility that Baron Corbin might win. Okay, Martin Miller just tagged me in something. Sure, shout out to Martin Miller. He tagged me on something for Turnbuckle Topics on Twitter. It's a giveaway. Who wants a promo code to watch the full slate of shows at Starcast events starting this Thursday on Fight TV for free? To win, you must like and return this post. Be following Fight TV and TT_for you. Tag one friend. Winner chosen at August the 28th. August the 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So, what would that mean exactly? Alright. Let me just reread this again. Who wants a promo code to watch the full slate of shows at Starcast events starting this Thursday? Would that mean I would get to watch? I would get to watch All Out for free? Because if that's the case, that'd be awesome. I don't really give two shits about Starcast. I would rather just watch All Out. So Martin, if you're listening, if you can make sure I can watch All Out for free, that'd be fucking sweet. All right, I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. Oh yeah, the King of the Ring. Yeah, so Baron Corbin has a match against Miz. Baron won. After the match, he sat on the chair, the king's chair. Gave his King of the Ring promo, his heel promo, which is now a meme, and put on the crown. A lot of people think that Baron Corbin might exactly win this thing, which I hope not. I seriously hope not. The point of King of the Ring is to give more up-and-coming, stars a chance. Baron Corbin was just in the main event scene. He literally main evented 2 pay-per-views, before SummerSlam. So he should not even be in this tournament. Aleister Black should be in this tournament. I don't know why Aleister Black's not in this tournament. I guess it's because he's stuck in his black room and they've been knocking on his door and he's not answering. He doesn't want to answer, so I guess there's that. Daniel Bryan should be in the King of the Ring tournament. And again, I know Daniel Bryan, doesn't really need it because he's been a WWE champion or whatever, but it would have been cool to see him in it. It would have been interesting if they mixed in NXT guys in the King of the Ring. Like, why the fuck not? Like, they could have really used this opportunity, especially since you're bringing NXT to USA. Sorry, I was biting my nose. This is a bad habit. Like, when you're bringing NXT to USA, you could have really, used this opportunity to mix them, with the King of the Ring. You know what I mean? Like, you could have seen matchups that you'd never seen before. You could have seen Matt Riddle versus a lot of the guys in the main roster from NXT are from NXT, so never mind. Anyways, what I'm saying is you would have had more fresher, better matchups. I don't know, that's just my opinion. But I seriously hope it's not Baron Corbin. Andrade is in the second round. He's going to wrestle Clark. I was going to say Clark Gable. Chad Gable next week. So that's an automatic win for him. And Andrade was actually my second choice. So I hope Andrade wins. Just judging by the matchups. You got Ali versus Elias, who I'm assuming Ali is going to win. I'm just assuming. It's going to be a very competitive match. I don't see Shane McMahon getting involved because the only reason why Shane McMahon got involved in last week's match was because of Kevin Owens. So it's going to be Elias versus Ali just by themselves. If Elias wins, it's going to be some, heel cheating bullshit, which, it'll happen. I'm pretty sure they're going to want Ali to win because they want to make him a thing. And I like Ali, but I don't think Ali should have beaten Buddy Murphy, in my opinion. Buddy Murphy's been on such a big roll. He's been on a hot streak for the past couple weeks. He had, he had a match of the year candidate, a match of the year, nominee against Roman Reigns. He beat Daniel Bryan last week. And then, who's the fucking WWE champion? He was just at Mania as the WWE champion. And then you just have him lose to Ali, who hasn't done shit. Just an astute observation. Not shitting on Ali, because I like Ali. But it's just logic. Like, how are you going to have a guy who's been on a hot streak and then have him lose to somebody who hasn't really done anything? Like, I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, I'm assuming Ali's going to beat Elias. And he's going to go on to face Andrade. And as for the other Raw matches, Cedric Alexander's not going to beat Baron Corbin. I'd be shocked if he did. Because Cedric Alexander versus Ricochet, because Ricochet's going to beat Samoa Joe. As much as I like Samoa Joe, they're not going to give Samoa Joe shit. Ricochet versus Cedric Alexander, that'd be a good match. That'd be a good, flippy, dippy doodah match for the internet wrestling community. Not that I'm shitting on anyone in the internet wrestling community, because I'm still kind of a part of that. And I don't know, the look, it looks like it's going to be Ricochet versus Andrade in the finals. It kind of has to be. And so that's a match at Clash of Champions. And then you give it to Andrade. Andrade looks like he could use it more. I like Andrade. The only problem that it looks like it's holding him back is his ability to master the English language. Which, it's not a racist thing, but it's just like, from a company standpoint, how are you going to send him out there on talk shows? Doing interviews, promoting the company as the face of the company. It works for Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns can speak English. It works for Kofi because Kofi can speak English. For Andrade, he can't speak English. He has a hard time, speaking English. And it's, I don't know. But I like Andrade. I want him to win. I want him to have a higher position in the company. Having Zelina Vega, just seeing her in anything. I just love seeing her in anything. Matter of fact, I wouldn't mind if they just they had two camera positions for an Andrade match. They just had the camera for Andrade for whoever he's wrestling, and then you just have the camera primarily just on Zelina. I love Zelina. Oh, I love her so much. Why is Aleister hiding from her? Is Aleister trying to hide from her? Is that why? Is that, I don't know. Wouldn't that be some shit where if, in their real life, Aleister Black is, actually hiding from Zelina at their home? She can't find him. And then she's like, "You're in this fucking dark room again? I'm waiting for someone to knock on the door." Get the fuck out of this room, puto. That was corny. But, Raw apparently got a 2.5 of the ratings, which that was surprising. I didn't watch the rest of the show, but I saw the end on clips. It was Braun versus AJ for the United States title. And he just beat the shit out of AJ and the Good Brothers with a steel chair, which, to me, again, logic. Braun was able to tip over an ambulance and a car, so he should be able to, if he's hitting somebody with a steel chair, they should fucking, shatter be like shattered glass. You know what I mean? It should be like when Thanos wiped people from existence. That's how it should look. These motherfuckers should turn to dust. But, I don't know, that's just me. So that was the end of the show. I didn't watch the Sasha and Natalya match. I know Sasha won. I didn't care. I just tapped out. It was a bad show. And again, saw SmackDown in clips. I probably should watch the Ali and Murphy match because I heard it was really good. I heard the I keep wanting to call him Clark Gable, the Gable and Benjamin match. Yeah, Gable should not really be in this tournament. I like Gable, but he's better. He's better suited in NXT or 205 Live. Shelton Benjamin is just primarily here to put people over. He's here to put people over. He's here to have good matches. The guy can still work at his age. The guy looks amazing for his age. But he's here just to put people over. Anyone that's saying he should go to AEW, you really think Shelton Benjamin at this stage in his life is going to give up getting paid? I would imagine 6 figures to go work for a company that we don't know is going to be any good yet. He's going to stay. He came to WWE for a reason. He came back to WWE for a reason because he wants to finish his career here. He's more likely going to be a trainer in NXT, which good for him. You know, the guy was a former collegiate wrestling champion, so good for him. Like that's his future in the company. He's going to end up putting people over and also helping the young talent. So good for him. I like Shelton. I've always been a fan of Shelton, by the way. But yeah, Gable, Aleister Black could have easily replaced Gable in this tournament, in my opinion. This is coming from a guy who's small. I'm 5'9", and Chad Gable's small. If a guy is my height, or if I'm taller than him, he should not be getting these opportunities. Like, again, he's better suited in NXT or 205 Live. He can easily be a star in 205 Live. You know, easily. Like, no doubt about it. Or they can make him something over in NXT. But yeah, Aleister Black should have really been in this tournament, and he could have easily taken Gable's spot, in my opinion. So yeah, that was SmackDown. As far as any wrestling news goes, yeah, there's really not a lot of wrestling I want to talk about. I just want to get that out of the way. I have SmackDown saved to my DVR on YouTube TV, so I'll definitely watch the Ali and Murphy match. And I'll watch the other King of the Ring match. The other matches, everything else on SmackDown, I heard it was dog shit. So I'll trust everyone's word on that. So let's get to the big news of the week. The Marvel and DC news. I guess I'll talk about the Joker trailer first. They released a new Joker trailer today, and it showed you a little bit more. Whereas the first trailer of anything is always going to be very vague, like very vague. Like the first trailer wasn't too vague. Not that this really gave away too much, because you already have a feeling where this movie's going to go. Because Todd Phillips, his history, he directed, the Hangover movies. Now he's directing this. He just put out there that there's no CGI in this movie at all. There's not a strip of CGI. There's no capes. There's no high-tech gadgets. There's no Batmobile. He even said first 45 minutes in is when there's finally like a gunshot. So this movie is going to be 10 times different than any superhero movie you've seen. With The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan had tried to stray away from, CGI, which he did, because the scene where Christian Bale's, jumping off of a building in Japan, they actually have him jump off of a building in Japan, which is fucking nuts. But he did have to use some CGI. This is just basically a movie about somebody that could actually exist. The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. It's about somebody who's just, and I'm going to choose my words carefully because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to offend anyone. But basically, I'm just using the eye test here, people. It's about somebody who's just very severely mentally ill, who's not right in the head. There's an insinuation that Arthur Fleck, the character that Joaquin Phoenix is playing, that he was possibly sexually abused as a kid. That he was abused by his dad. He has some type of sexual relationship with his mom. Like, I don't know if it's like he wants to fuck her type of relationship, or he finds her attractive or whatever, but there's that. And Anthony Missionary Thomas for Wrestling Soup, I gotta shout him out because he's always been so good to me. This show is now on the Wrestling Soup website. So if you're on Wrestling Soup, if you go to the Wrestling Soup website, I'm on the front page. Anytime a new episode of this comes out, it's always going to automatically pop up on the front page. So, oh my god. Sorry, I was just petting my cat. But, yeah, go to Wrestling Soup, and this podcast is on the front page. Mish shook me up. I will forever be Mish's dad. He's a good dude. He compared this film, just by the way it looks, to the movie Falling Down. Which, if anyone's ever seen Falling Down, it's a movie with Michael Douglas where he plays a character who, from beginning, middle to end, gradually starts to lose his mind and goes from being someone who is, again, someone we know, someone we want to work with, someone we went to school with, someone we probably live next door to, a man just losing his grasp on morality and humanity. And at the end of the movie, he loses his humanity. This is what the Joker seems like it's going to be like. Arthur Fleck, seems like a guy who seems like a nice guy, good dude, kind of, very weird, very socially awkward. But gradually over the movie, especially if you're living in Gotham City, where it's, corrupt as fuck, you lose who you are. You lose your humanity. You start to gradually become this monster. You become the thing that has made you into who you are. Or let me repeat that. You become something that you never wanted to be. The thing that you've always hated has now made you into that thing, into who they are. And I can already tell this movie's going to be really uncomfortable to watch. I watched a movie with Joaquin Phoenix recently. It was called You Were Never There. It seems like that's how the movie's going to be, except in that movie, spoilers to whoever hasn't seen it, whoever has Amazon Prime, watch it. But it's about a guy who, has kind of had a fucked up life. He still lives with his mom, but he's also a contracted assassin to go after predators. And there's a lot of flashbacks about his childhood growing up. He experienced, domestic abuse. He saw his mom get the shit beat out of her growing up. It's a pretty rough movie to watch. This seems like it's going to be like that. And you see, it shows that Robert De Niro is in the movie. He plays a talk show host, which, if anyone's ever read The Dark Knight Returns or watched the Dark Knight Returns movie, there's a scene in it where the Joker returns after being in an insane asylum. And he's on a talk show, and we all know what happens after that. So, if that happens, it'd be kind of funny. Not funny like haha, more just like, because Todd Phillips had said specifically that we don't borrow any, that he's not going to, that he didn't borrow any inspiration from the comics. Which, you can't say that. You had to have borrowed some inspiration from the comics. Like, some. I have a hard time believing that he didn't do that. Especially when I saw that scene in the trailer. I just went, if this motherfucker kills everybody in the fucking studio, then this motherfucker's a liar. He got something from the comics. So yeah, Robert De Niro's in the movie. He plays a talk show host. You saw Mark Maron, who's, I guess, like his assistant, or his co-host, kind of like, Conan O'Brien has Andy Richter. At the end of the trailer, in the beginning of the trailer, it's just, again, showing how fucked up Arthur Fleck's life is. He's trying to make a kid laugh on the subway, and the kid's laughing, and his mom turns on and goes, Can you stop bothering my kid? And it's just like, well, he's not really bothering him. He's making him enough, but whatever. It shows the actor who's playing Thomas Wayne. I don't remember his name. That was actually supposed to be Alec Baldwin. It was supposed to be Alec Baldwin. He literally signed on to play that role, and then literally the next day he dropped out. So this actor, I've seen this actor in movies before. He was actually in The Dark Knight Rises. He played like the congressman that had, I guess, got kidnapped by Catwoman. I don't remember his name, but he's going to be Thomas Wayne. I'm forgetting her name. Zazie Beetz, is that her name? She was Domino in Deadpool 2. She's the love interest of the Joker. And yeah, that's about it. You've got Joaquin Phoenix, of course, as the Joker. He's a struggling stand-up comedian, and there's a scene where he's watching himself on De Niro's talk show, and then De Niro just shits on him. So he ends up coming back to the talk show, which I'm assuming that's going to be the end of the movie. I'm assuming that's the last scene of the movie, where he comes back and he tells De Niro, one more thing, can you announce me as Joker? And then De Niro's just like, what the fuck? So I am very, very, very looking forward to this fucking movie. Like, I'm going to be front row. Well, maybe not front row, but I will be in the back on opening night. I'm very looking forward to this movie. I don't know what to expect from it. Because, they keep saying it's going to be standalone. It's not going to have any connections to any other movies. Which, I don't know. I just have a hard time believing that. Because you have the Waynes in there. You have Thomas Wayne. You have young Bruce Wayne. It's in Gotham. It's set in the 80s. I don't know. I just have a hard time believing that this is not going to be connected to another movie somehow. Like, the end of the movie, I have a feeling... Like, the very, very end of the movie, I have a feeling... Or maybe not the end of the movie, but Joker is going to kill Thomas Wayne. Like, when... the origin story is, as tells all this time, is that, young Bruce Wayne and his parents, Martha and Thomas. Martha! I would laugh if they made fun of it in that movie. They're walking out, they just came out of the movie, they just saw Zorro. Or Excalibur. And, a robber comes out of the darkness in Crime Alley and shoots him in front of Bruce, and that's why Bruce becomes Batman. What if that's the end of the movie? Or what if that happens in the movie? Like, Joker kills Thomas and Martha in front of young Bruce and, leaves Bruce alone because I feel there's going to be some connection with the Joker and Bruce in this movie. Like, nothing creepy or anything, but more just like, Arthur sees Bruce Wayne as how he used to be, like innocent, like an innocent young child who's in a world that he knows nothing about. He thinks his dad is the most amazing man in the world, but he doesn't know how much of a piece of shit he is, when he's not around. So, what if that prompts Bruce to go after this evil clown that killed his parents? That would be so dope. And what if he ends up looking like Rob Pattinson? If they put Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in the Rob Pattinson movies, that'd be super fucking cool. Like, continuity! Fuck yeah! Because I know Joaquin Phoenix's thing is that he doesn't want to do sequels. Because fun fact, he was supposed to, when Benedict Cumberbatch actually turned down playing Doctor Strange because he was in a Broadway show, so he didn't know if he would be able to film and do that, show at the same time, or find a way to work around it, so he had to turn it down. So they talked to Joaquin Phoenix. His whole thing was he didn't want to be tied down to a contract. Like, he's one of those actors that doesn't like sequels. He doesn't want to do sequels. He doesn't want to just be tied down to one role. He'd rather just do a role and then leave. And surprisingly, Joaquin Phoenix actually likes superhero movies. Like, he he did an interview a while back where he talked about the movies, and he said, they're good for Hollywood. I'm a cinephile. I think they're good for the industry. So there's that. I'm very excited for this movie. There's a lot of Oscar buzz around it, which, the second time a Joker actor gets an Oscar or an Oscar nod, that'd be fucking insane. That would be insane. A lot of people are trying to compare it to Heath. I would say don't compare. Like, every Joker was different in their own way, because the character needs to evolve. You can't just play the same character over and over again. You can't just borrow from other people's interpretations all the time. You need to add your own spin on things. Mark Hamill, does always be the Joker. Jack Nicholson, to a lot of people, is their favorite Joker because, we grew up on those movies. Jack Nicholson is one of the greatest actors of all time. And, again, his Joker was more comedic. He was still a psychopath, but he was, more comedic. Heath just broke down the door for that role. Like, his Joker was intimidating. Not just psychotic. His Joker was intimidating. His Joker was more like, he tried to pin people against each other. Like, I'm pretty sure you'll cut that person's neck if it means that you got to live. It means you and your family got to live. Prove that you're better than me. That was Heath's Joker. Heath's Joker made sense. Like, what he said made sense. It was kind of like a really good wrestling heel. Like, his Joker really did make sense. Everything he said made sense. Jared Leto to be fair, his Joker didn't really have they didn't really give Jared Leto's Joker a lot to work with. Like, because in the trailers, they made it look like he was going to be, like, a big part of the movie. And then he was literally just in it for 8 minutes. Or not even that. So, I don't know. I can't really say... his Joker wasn't really my favorite. It was my least favorite. But they didn't really give him too much of a chance, in my opinion. And now you got someone like Joaquin, who his Joker seems like it's going to be somebody that you sympathize with, because his character went from being a normal guy living a normal life. He's just trying to get by. He's trying to take care of himself and his mom, but all this shit's going around that's really just messing with his mind. And it's the first time someone playing the Joker is actually likable. Like, you can sympathize with them. Because you couldn't sympathize with Jack at all. You couldn't sympathize with Heath. You understood Heath. You understood what his character was about. But you didn't sympathize with him. You sure as hell didn't sympathize with Jared, because I don't even think he knew what the fuck he wanted. But with Joaquin, it looks like you would sympathize with him. Like, you would understand him. You would understand him, 100% about what he wanted, what his intentions were, why he wanted to do it, and how he wanted to do it. So it makes sense. Overall, I'm excited for that movie. And in month by month span, you have It Chapter 2 coming out next month, which, not even next month, next week. I still haven't gotten my tickets. I don't know, we might not even go opening night. We'll probably go maybe opening weekend or the week after that. So, but yeah, Joker, I'm hyped for. What else? We could start with D23. D23 happened over the weekend, and D23 is basically Disney's own Comic-Con. They announced more news, more casting news, more shows to their Disney Plus service, which a lot of Star Wars ones, a lot of Disney ones. I'm going to talk mainly just about Marvel. Loki news. Spring 2021. Not too much new info broke out. Marvel announced that director Kate Herron, who directed something called Sex Education, will helm all 6 episodes of a show which will reportedly send Loki hopping and skipping through time and answer the questions: where did Loki go after Endgame? Will he make a friend? And will the sun shine on him again? That last one feels a bit heady from Marvel, but okay. How is he going through time when he has a space stone? I mean, I'm not going to argue with Marvel, but I don't know. I guess you're going through different places, and I don't know. I guess we'll find out when the show comes out. WandaVision. Again, not really any new info. No new footage. And so in this, they haven't shot any. They showed like they're building sets for the show. That's about it. Distorted footage of star-crossed lovers Wanda and Vision from their time in the MCU, including, yes, the Paprikash scene, was spliced together with footage from the classic 1960s sitcom The Dick Van Dyke Show, featuring Mary Tyler Moore's character Laura Petrie worrying that she and her husband weren't who they thought they were. The show is being called half sitcom, half Marvel adventure. It's a take from Tom King's brilliant comic book, The Vision, which sets the purple-hued hero among the picket fences of suburbia. King recently teased that he was working on a top-secret TV project and tweeted a hint that the project may in fact be WandaVision. Kat Dennings will reprise her role as Darcy Lewis from the Thor franchise, and Randall Park will appear as Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I don't know how you put those characters in this show, but whatever. Whether they'll be the versions of the characters we're familiar with or a new 60s-esque spins on them remains to be seen. Also joining the cast is the great Kathryn Hahn. I love her, she's funny. Who will be playing the classic sitcom type of the nosy neighbor. Think Gladys from Bewitched. All the zany comedy will dovetail into Olsen's crossover appearance in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse. Or Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, coming to theaters May 7th, 2021. So, yeah, like they just said, this is going to be this is basically a sitcom. It's going to be like, what the fuck? Every time I put my phone here next to my headphones, it makes this weird sound. So by the sounds of it, it's going to start off in a kooky way, but there's also going to be some kookiness to it. By the way, it sounds like it's going to be similar to a Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse, where it just looks like this really wacky and zany, wowie kids show. Out of nowhere, there's some like really creepy, just nutty vibes to it, and it's supposed to connect to Doctor Strange's movie, The Multiverse of Madness, because Scarlet Witch is going to be in it. I'm assuming like the whole show is going to be in the head of Scarlet Witch. Like she's going to picture all this going on. She's going to have everyone believe this is actually going on. Kathryn Hahn, supposedly is playing the nosy neighbor. Is she gonna end up being like a SHIELD agent of some sort, or some type of demon? I don't know. How Kat Dennings and Randall Park appear in the show, like what kind of role they play, I don't know. Again, it just seems kind of random putting him in the show, but again, they'll make it work. I like Kat Dennings' character in the Thor movies. I like Randall Park in anything. The guy's just funny. Asian Jim. What If? Summer 2021. Feig already peeled back most of the curtain. Peeled back most of the What If curtain at Comic-Con this year. You can read all about it. Blah, blah, blah. It's an animated series. Hosted by Jeffrey Wright, who plays the Watcher. The Marvel team reeled some footage of these alternative takes. D23 saw, for example, a zombie Captain America and T'Challa, not Star-Lord, in the familiar opening heist from Guardians of the Galaxy. But the biggest hit of all was the reveal that Haley Atwell is Agent Carter as the recipient of the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. That looks pretty dope. She has a shield that has the English flag on it. Her glistening biceps were quite a hit with the crowd, as did her Captain Carter suit. I'm looking forward to everything that's on here. Miss Marvel news that teen Muslim American superhero Kamala Khan will be getting her own Disney Plus show. Hit the internet mere hours before Feige took the D23 stage to announce it. But a few hours is plenty of time for a controversy to brew. And fans of Khan, when she represents, were initially disappointed when they thought she would just be appearing on Disney Plus. But what the initial report failed to mention is that Khan will be joining the MCU in the big screen as well as in her own show. So good news all around here. So that's good. It's not going to be like Netflix where they talk about the movies for like a bit, but they're in their own universe, which they should be. But we were all waiting for that big crossover for Daredevil to be in Infinity War, or for Iron Fist and Luke Cage to show up in Infinity War, for the Punisher to show up, for Jessica Jones to show up, but they never did, which was kind of weird. Now, since all these shows are under that Disney umbrella, and they're supposedly going to take place in a world, post Endgame, now these characters can interact on screen. Ms. Marvel, I'm not sure when the timeline's going to be set, but she can interact with Captain Marvel. She can interact with other characters, so that'd be dope. Here's the news that fucking really just, made me go overboard. Moon Knight. They're making a fucking Moon Knight on Disney Plus. An early popular guess as to who he might be playing, because let me just go back. They announced that Kit Harington was going to be in the Marvel Universe. That he had signed on to do something Marvel related. They didn't say what. They didn't say who he was playing, but they just said he was going to do something Marvel related. A lot of people thought he'd be Moon Knight, which wouldn't have been a bad choice. Lo and behold, Feige announced that Moon Knight was getting his own Disney Plus series. In the comics, as many might or might not know, the character is a boxer who develops dissociative identity disorder and may or may not be descended from the Egyptian deity Khonshu. But at the very least, he has moon-based powers. Yeah, but Harrington's name didn't come up during this presentation. I am so fucking down for Moon Knight. I became a fan of Moon Knight. Oh, motherfucker, come on. I became a fan of Moon Knight through the Ultimate Alliance game. I was a big fan of Moon Knight based on that game. I played with him. I wasn't really too sure who he was. I just thought he was fucking dope. And then I started reading more Moon Knight comics. Again, because I was a fan of his through the game, so I bought a couple of his comics, and the guy's fucking dope. I fucking love Moon Knight. I fucks with Moon Knight. It would have been nice to have a Moon Knight show on Netflix, just so you can make him a little bit more grittier and darker. But hey, we're happy with what we have right now. My cat doesn't like me rubbing its belly with my foot. Okay, now I'm distracted by my cat for some reason. I was just talking about Moon Knight, and now my cat wants to show her belly. Anyways, fucking Moon Knight. I'm so stoked for this. I tagged John Draper and Mish in it, and they were probably even more excited than I was. I can't wait for it. I want it to happen now. I need Moon Knight now. I need to know who the fuck the casting is Moon Knight. That's a character. You need to cast an actor who can have that kind of range, who can play a fucking nut job, who can play a nut job and beat the fuck out of people and be intimidating. What suits would they pull off though? Are they going to use the all white suit and tie and white face and a white mask? Or are they actually going to go with, like, the full Monty and have, like, the all-white cape and, like, brass knucks and... Like, what are they going to do? Am I bothering you? Oh, my cat keeps opening its mouth for some reason. Okay, it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Okay, you need to yawn. What the fuck? Okay, but yeah, going back to Moon Knight. Hopefully you don't have to throw up. You better not throw up in here. Hey, you ate earlier. I don't know why you would throw up now. Anyways, I keep getting distracted by my cat. So yeah, Moon Knight. I keep going back and forth with Moon Knight. Yeah, they need to cast an act. As long as they get the actor right, that's really all that matters. But again, this is Marvel we're talking about. They're almost never wrong on who they cast. And as if the suit looks fucking dope, then good. I have a feeling that they're just going to go with the all-white suit. The all-white suit and tie with the white mask. I have a feeling that's what they're going to... Which, again, that's pretty cool, too. Which I'm fine with that. So yeah, Moon Knight. They haven't announced when they're going to start shooting. They don't even have a script or a director. They just announced that it's in the plans. Next is She-Hulk. She-Hulk, which, again, didn't see that happening. Didn't even hear about them, possibly doing that. She-Hulk is Jennifer Walters, aka Bruce Banner's cousin, who gets his Hulk powers thanks to an emergency blood transfusion he gives her. Please gaze in admiration at one of my favorite comic books is on Vanity Fair. She-Hulk Superhuman Law, Volume 2. Given Jennifer's legal prowess, this could wind up being a legal drama for Disney Plus, which, if I'm being honest, is always what I had hoped for. That'd be pretty cool. I'm always a fan of like crime shows, legal stuff. I'm a criminal justice major, so if that's the case, that'd be pretty cool. She could, it'd be like a Daredevil. She's a lawyer by day, and she becomes She-Hulk at night, or she's She-Hulk all around. She's She-Hulk all day, and then at night she just beats the fuck out of criminals. Like that, I'm down for that. How they're gonna pull it off. I don't know who they'd cast. I know a lot of people want Rosario Dawson for the role. That'd be pretty cool. I like Rosario Dawson. I like Rosario Dawson in anything. She has a very likable quality to her. You never really hear any bad things about her. That wouldn't be a bad thing if she was chosen, in my opinion. More news. Again, going back to Kit Harington. Kit Harington was announced as being the Black Knight for Marvel's The Eternals, which I believe I have that up right now. Who is the Black Knight exactly? Black Knight isn't the most popular Marvel character, but is a former member of the Avengers and Defenders. Here's what you might know about him. Writer Roy Thomas and artist John Buscema created Dane Whitman. The character first appeared in the Avengers number 47 and 67, and his third Marvel character to go by the name of the Black Knight. Whitman is a descendant of Sir Percy of Scandia, the original Black Knight from medieval times in the Marvel Universe. Whitman's uncle, Nathan Garrett, was a supervillain and a member of the Masters of Evil. There's a lot here. So by all accounts, from everything that I've heard, is that this is supposed to be a pretty dope character. I'm going to have to ask John Jager more about that. He's supposed to be a pretty dope character, so I'm pretty sure Marvel can make any character that is a little less known into something a little bit bigger. So I'm hoping for that. The only thing I care about the Eternals is, again, I haven't read the comics. I don't know too much about it. The only thing that I care about is that it's a good movie. That's the only thing that matters to me, is that it's a good movie, that's fun, and again, Marvel hasn't been wrong lately. And I know a lot of people think I'm just a Marvel fan, but I'm just blowing them, which kind of. But I like what I like. I like all their movies. I'm not saying every single one of their movies is my favorite. There are movies I'm not a fan of. I don't care about, Thor: The Dark World. The first Captain America, I can fall asleep during. But just all their movies are good. Again, even Thor: Dark World has its moments, but overall, it's maybe the weakest of all the Marvel films. What other news came out of D23? They announced that actor Wyatt Russell will be playing U.S. Agent in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Anthony Missionary Thomas was especially ecstatic about that. U.S. Agent is kind of like, just based off of what I read, because I asked Mish, I'm like, is he supposed to be a heel or a face or a tweener? And he's like, well, he's literally been all three of those, so I'm guessing a tweener. Just judging by the way what I've read about him, it's almost like, what if the Punisher was Captain America, which he has been? What if Batman was Captain America? Someone who's less of a Boy Scout, someone who's more of a badass who will do what it takes to get what he needs. A character this dope, especially since they're going to mix it with the movies, I hope that he's not just a one-off character. Like, he's not just here for this season. I hope they keep him. Wyatt Russell, I've only seen him in a few things. The most recent thing I saw him in was... I had to look him up because I literally had no clue who he was. But he was in a movie called Ingrid Goes West with Aubrey Plaza, where he played Elizabeth Olsen's brother, who, Elizabeth Olsen is... Or no, not Elizabeth Olsen's brother, her husband. Or again, another Marvel person, Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch. So he's going to be a U.S. agent. And I asked Mish, I'm like, what do you think of the actor? He's like, well, it's not my first choice, but, it doesn't matter. As long as he pulls it off. I think that's the one thing that always matters, is someone can always look like they're not right for the role. But again, Marvel doesn't just pick any actor out of a hat. They're always going to pick people who they know will be right for the role, and they end up being right. For the show, again, I'm hoping U.S. Agent, as dope this character, the way it sounds, I'm hoping it's not just a one-off character. Because Zemo's coming back, so supposedly the plot of the storyline is that the government does not want Falcon to be Captain America. Because anyone that saw Endgame, spoilers, Steve went back in time, returned the stones, and lived out the rest of his life, and gave the mantle of Captain America to Falcon. And supposedly the plot in this show is that the government doesn't want Sam as Cap. They want their own Captain America, which I'm assuming this is where U.S. Agent comes in. And then this is where Zemo comes in. So, will Zemo and U.S. Agent be in cahoots? Or it would make sense for U.S. Agent to go after Zemo, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how the show's going to play out. But I'm hoping U.S. Agent does just end up being a one-off character that he ends up dying at the end of the season. What else happened? Emily Van Camp, Agent Carter's niece, will be back in this season, so good for her. There's a rumor that they're going to start a America Chavez series for D23 or for Disney Plus. Never read the comics. Never really had an inkling to, because, and again, I'm not homophobic. It's not that I hate women. It's not that I hate Mexicans. I love, my girlfriend is Mexican, so I don't know. It's just something about the characters just doesn't appeal. And again, I know I'm a guy. I know I'm not Mexican. I know I'm not gay. So maybe it shouldn't appeal to me. I don't know. It's just something about the character that I don't really care about. I I don't care about the character, and I've heard a lot of people shit on the comic. So maybe I should read it just to judge for myself. Maybe I might like it. I don't know, but I haven't heard very good things about the comic. I guess we can get to Spider-Man news. More Spiderman news. I have it up here. Let's see, just took me back. How rude. So Tom Holland confirms Spider-Man's exit from the MCU for now. I spoke to Entertainment Weekly. Tom Holland was there to promote a Disney movie that he was doing with Chris Pratt. And the whole place went nuts. The whole place was screaming for him. And he couldn't even get a word out. Later on in the night, later on this show, he came out, and spoke to the crowd. He wasn't supposed to do that, apparently. And just told them, it's been a crazy week. I love you all 3,000 from the bottom of my heart. He spoke to Entertainment Weekly. Said, basically, we've made 5 great movies. It's been 5 amazing years. I've had the time of my life, but who knows what the future holds. But all I know is that I'm going to continue playing Spider-Man and having the time of my life. It's going to be so fun. However we choose to do it, the future for Spider-Man will be different. But it will be equally as awesome and amazing, and we'll find new ways to make it even cooler. Kevin Feige confirms the exit. I'm feeling about Spider-Man gratitude and joy, he said to Entertainment Weekly. We got to make 5 films within the MCU with Spider-Man, 2 standalone films, and 3 with the Avengers. It was a dream that I never thought it was a dream that I never thought would happen. It was never meant to last forever. We knew there was a finite amount of time that we'd be able to do this, and we told the story we wanted to tell, and I'll always be thankful for that. And Tom Holland was at Keystone Comic-Con, which Julian Cannon, shout out to Julian, was actually at. He put on his Facebook that no one was literally allowed to ask Tom Holland any questions that had to do with Spider-Man, because, and I'm just paraphrasing because I don't have the quote in front of me, that they didn't want any Spider-Man questions because they didn't want to, I guess, affect any ongoing negotiations or any announcements that would be announced within the next few days. So that kind of confirms that, that Sony and Disney are still in business, that they still want to talk about the character. And after they told him that, the interviewers immediately asked him Spider-Man questions. So I guess that makes sense, because when you're a professional interviewer, you're going to ask the more softball questions that, the celebrity actually can't answer. If you're a fan, you're going to just be honest. You're going to be like, what the fuck? like, are you not going to play Spider-Man anymore? Is Spider-Man still in the MCU, A, B, C, and D? So you're going to ask those questions that Tom knows the answers to, but he legally cannot say. So that makes sense. So Tom Holland confirms that Spider-Man 3 will not be in the MCU. According to Decider.com, Alex Zelbin, Holland told the audience at Keystone Con that it's come as a bit of a shock, quote-unquote, that the wall crawler is no longer part of the MCU, but he's already sat down with Sony executives to plan out Spider-Man 3. Furthermore, he has assured us that we haven't seen the last of him as Spider-Man, even if the hero won't be in the MCU the next time he shows up in cinemas. Holland wanted to tease that Spider-Man 3 should be really exciting, as the move to Sony means there's new opportunities for who he can cross over with. That has to be confirmation of all those rumors that Holland will be countering Tom Hardy's Venom and maybe Woody Harrelson's Carnage in the near future. What's more, characters like Sony were planning on using Black Cat, Kraven, and others could also show up in the 3. And then that's it. So, here is my take on this, because I said it last week. I believe Sony and Disney are going to work on a deal. Because supposedly there's supposed to be a deal announced this week. Sometime by the end of the week. I don't have a problem with because the idea I read from Kevin Feige was that the sequel, that Spider-Man 3, was supposed to be more Peter Parker driven. a good Spider-Man story doesn't need to always have the Avengers in it, or Tony Stark, or Thanos, or whoever. But how exactly are you gonna tell Spider-Man's story now, when all that character's been through in the past 3 years has been nothing but the Avengers and Tony Stark? Because how is it that Tom Holland or Marissa Tomei or Zendaya are not going to mention Tony Stark, are not going to mention the Avengers, are not going to mention Thanos, are not going to mention the Blip? It would just be weird. I mean, again, you can still tell a Spider-Man story without having to have that influence on it. But you need Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. You need it. You know, Tom Holland is really good in it. The last movie was when he finally decided to come into his own. When he finally broke free from Tony Stark, from the Avengers. And, the blip already happened, so, it's long gone. The blip's done. Now Peter can focus more on his problems. He can focus more on Peter problems. He can focus more on his own villains, his family, trying to fuck MJ in the ass. He has problems. And, now there's the possibility of he can run into Venom. Which, here's the idea I have for Venom and how you can fit that in with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is that, let's say the storyline of Venom was in the future. Because they never exactly said what year it was in Venom. Let's say that everything that Eddie Brock was going through in the Venom movie was happening during Far From Home. Let's say that was going on. You know what I mean? That's a good way you can fit him in. Same thing with Morbius, the Living Vampire. Same thing with Kraven. It would be dope. Seeing Venom, seeing Tom Hardy's Venom and Tom Holland's Spider-Man interacting on screen would be fucking dope. And now you got Woody Harrelson, who just confirmed that he's coming back as Carnage. There's those possibilities. But it's not going to be in the MCU. It's not going to be connected to the MCU, which it shouldn't be connected to the MCU. Like, Peter Parker's problems with Venom and Carnage should just be between him and Venom and Carnage, or Morbius. But you need that MCU connection that you've been working on for the past 3 years, in 5 movies with this character. Because it would just be weird. It would just be weird. It would be really awkward that nobody would legally be allowed to mention that. Because then, Peter would have to make his own suit out of scratch. Which, again, nothing wrong with that. But how are we supposed to explain that he can't wear his Iron Spider suit? Or the suit that he made in Far From Home? Or, how are you going to explain that the whole thing with the Skrulls and Nick Fury? You need Spider-Man to be in the Marvel Universe. You need Spider-Man to be in the MCU. Again, I believe a deal will be worked out. The whole thing that was going on was that they apparently wanted Kevin Feige to focus more of his time and energy on the property they actually own. Which, okay, that makes sense. But I'm pretty sure Disney is not going to just let this character go. They're not. I mean, because if you go to Disney World, they have a new park in Disney World where it's a Marvel-based park, and they have Spider-Man fucking there. You go into their shop, they have Spider-Man toys. So, I'm very confident that Disney and Sony will get something worked out. Will it be this week? Will it be next month? Will it be 6 months from now? Will it be a year from now? Who knows? But I'm very confident in this character being in the Marvel Universe. It'll stay in the Marvel Universe. It has to. I'm glad Tom Holland is staying on. But they have to keep this character in the Marvel Universe. They just have to. They can keep it in and not really have to rely too heavily on talking about the Avengers. Because, supposedly, again, part 3 is that it's supposed to be a Peter story. Which, again, good. But there's no way you can't mention Tony Stark in some way or fashion. Or the Avengers. Or the Snap. That's just my opinion. Spider-Man needs to stay in the MCU. He can't leave. Like, they've worked too hard to make this character a part of this world. The way they were building him up is that he was supposed to be the face of Marvel. Like, he was going to be the leader of the Pact, the new Tony Stark. Which, again, he shouldn't be Iron Man Jr. He should just be Spider-Man. Like, he's Spider-Man. He's his own guy. But without that Tony Stark influence, like, come on, you know. That's really it. That's really all the news I had on deck. Shout out to Rustic Soup. Anthony Missionary Thomas, good friend of the show, good friend of mine, love him. John Draper, who I would really like to get on the show sometime soon. And Joe Numbers. I'd love to get Joe on the show sometime. If you go to the Patreon for just $5, you can get all types of good shit, all types of exclusive content, like Global Balding with John Draper, like Side Salad with John and Mish. So there's that you have to look forward to. Don, Tony, Kevin Castle. Kevin Castle. Go to their Patreon for just $5, and you can get exclusive content as well, like Breakfast Soup with DT and Mish. You can also listen to Kevin Castle's 2 shows. You can listen to a solo show, Castle Chronicles. I need something to drink. You can also get Dark Chronicles with Kevin and a very, very good friend of the show, Trez. I'm going to see if I can get Trez on the show next week. I definitely want to get her on for the 100th show. She's very important to the show. Julian Cannon, mentioned it before, his The Wrestling Court. You can listen to that. Tyler the Trademark, another good friend of the show. He was on last week. Was he on last week? No, he was on 2 weeks ago. B-Show Brian, another good friend of the show. Architect Podcast with Derek and Irby. You can find them anywhere. Texas Podcast Massacre, the good friends of the show. I need to get those dudes on. I mentioned before that I was thinking about starting another podcast. Like, not change this one, keep this one the way it is, but starting another one. But it primarily being like a movie review show. Kind of like what, Texas Podcast Massacre, but they do horror movies primarily. I just want to do movies in general. So that way I can keep this show being a news show. And I can take my movie reviews and just do them on that show. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm still going to do it. All I know is that I'm thinking about doing it. So there's a thought. Texas Podcast Massacre. You love horror movies? These guys will do the job for you. I was on the show twice. Kevin Castle was on 3 times. These guys are amazing. My Texas brethren. I'm biased. They're from Texas, so I'm biased. The Peter Position with my good friend Peter. Look for his podcast. And is that it? If I'm forgetting anyone, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Ruben Prime TV. My man. My man. My man from New York. Look for his podcast. You can find him on Spotify. He actually has his own website, so he has a bunch of links where you can find his show. And that is it. Thanks to everyone who downloads and listens to the show. You can find my podcast anywhere. Spreaker is the main base, is the home base of the show. You can find me anywhere else that podcasts are distributed. You can find me on YouTube as well. Twitter handled The Drew Yari Show. And then Instagram, same thing. Facebook, same thing. Show me some love. I'll be back next week. Same time, same place. And I was thinking about like not just going live on Discord, but also going live on Spreaker. Because I'm live on Spreaker right now. So, because I know everybody doesn't have a Discord, and I don't want to force somebody to get a Discord. So pretty much starting tonight and here on out, I will be not just live on Discord, but also will be live on Spreaker. So, there you go. Anyways, guys, take peace, and I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Take care, guys.